Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming on Sound Down because today we're talking about office jobs, in a way. For a majority of people, work is exclusively something you do because you have to, right? I would say almost everyone doesn't wake up clicking their heels happy that they're going to work, right? Can we all agree?
Me. If you love your job, you want to be there.
Well, when you show up, it makes me not want to show up to work, so... Back in the day, the workplace was a far more rigid place where you put your head down and you did what you were told. Nowadays, there's a higher priority advocating for yourself in the workplace, as well as pushing for a healthier work-life balance, right? People aren't in the coal mines anymore. We have a bit more. I mean, don't get me wrong, people are still pissing in water bottles at Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
But you'd have to think things are a little better. Right. With Gen Z entering the working world, we've seen these values clash with older generational values. Not only that, but with TikTok, we've seen a lot of popular trends emerge from people reacting to the cruel realities of the corporate American atmosphere. So let's talk about all the various Gen Z workplace trends. The only reason that we even wanted to make this video was because there's a trend going on right now called the Office Siren. You see, the Office Siren trend essentially consists of women wearing and showing off their outfits, a modern interpretation of the 1980s power dressing. You remember that? Like Balenciaga, big suits, you got shoulder pads. Power dressing. And power dressing aimed to incorporate popular male fashion into clothing for women to wear in the workplace. This would often consist of things like padded shoulders, wide-leg trousers, and quality fabrics in darker, neutral colors. Like this. What do you think of that? That's a strong, independent woman, Nick. Get used to it. Sorry. Hey, the future is female. The goal was to defeminize women, so they would be taken more seriously in a predominantly male workplace. And over time, this evolved into a more unique style that introduced flashier colors and designs while still appearing professional, right? After a while, they're like, I'm bored, dude. Put a little cayenne pepper on this and think, wah-bah! That's what you get. Emerald, bam! Does anyone remember Emerald? Who? Bam! Starting in the 2000s, workplace attire has shifted to a much more casual style, which removes the necessity for power dressing in a majority of professional environments, right? People showing up to UPS are wearing the brown. They're not wearing power suits, they're wearing the brown.
That'd be impressive. UPS carrier was wearing
If a male or female, if they were power dressing at me, walking into my house, dropping a box, a man in a full suit dropping a box at my house is very suspicious. Just look weird. I'd be like, what are you doing?
stylish.
Yeah, but if the jacket had like a little UPS logo on it, I'd be like, that's kind of sick. If they're doing that though, you got to go full butler mode. I think you gotta have like a little bow tie. Yes, master. Carry your package like this. Take very short steps. You have like a platter you put the boxes on. Right away, master. The Office Siren trend brought back this type of aesthetic, but with more emphasis on sex appeal.
Yeah, they defeminized it. Now they're bringing the femininity back.
They defeminize things, and they're just like, how about we get the ladies back in, huh? What would Beyonce say about this, is what they said. The word siren refers to the Greek mythological creature that lured sailors in with their songs, leading to their untimely death. That feels maybe a bit cruel. Do I look sexy? You siren. You harlot. I don't want to hear your songs!
It's because they're tempting the men at the workplace to get fired.
Am I supposed to look or not? I don't know. Can I look at you? That's what she's saying. She's like, I don't know. And many of these TikToks had a similar format, where women wearing business attire would film themselves pretending to work on a laptop in the middle of a body of water. Which, to be fair, if I was like a 63-year-old truck driver, I'd be like, okay, come on, you got soft hands. That kind of meme. But then also she's like, we're working. Look at us, we're doing Java. We're coding in Java.
We're vibe coding.
We're vibe coding. I want to make an app that lets me make pina coladas with my feet in the pool. Create. Vibe code.
I mean, if you could, would you?
Work at a pool?
Yeah.
No. Well, one, I feel like I would ruin my laptop. And then also two, I mean, like, listen, I like swimming. Do I want to be just floating around all day? No. I'd rather take a nap. I'd rather be working from my house on my couch, and every once in a while just be like working and just be like just kind of slip into a sleepy state. Oh. But to be fair, if I was a young, cute little princess, or if I was a handsome man, maybe I would be out there. Oh, my abs, I just look so good. I don't even like going to the pool now just because of my orangutan body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a behind the scenes of like Mighty Joe Young or something like that. That's what it looks like every time I get into a pool. Yeah, exactly. But other women focus more on the sexual side, right? Making videos about how much they want to work an office job just to dress up like an office siren. It's cute. I wish I was going into work today. One of those things. Look how hot I look. I wish I could go to a corporate job today. And some guy's like sitting in his car, like watching this before he has to go work like 10 hours in an office job, just like opening his glove compartment and grabbing a gun and just being like... Today's video is sponsored by Helix Sleep. People always ask, Hunter, when do you sleep? Never. But seriously, I might be coming around to the whole sleep thing now that I have a Helix Sleep mattress. Before you get a Helix Sleep mattress, they have you take a sleep quiz to find the perfect blend of what you need. Like, are you a side sleeper? Do you have back pain? What type of mattress firmness do you prefer? The quiz is very quick, but it takes the information and recommends the best mattress for you. I got the Dusk Luxe for my particular needs, and I have been getting deep, restful sleep every night. It's amazing how much sleep can affect your mood and energy, and all it took was a few minutes to find out what I needed to upgrade my life!
I love the new Helix Sleep mattress. It was so cold and scary on the floor in the basement, and now with Helix Sleep mattress, there's no bugs, there's no shivers, and there's enough space for Jacob and I to share.
Hi, I love my new Helix mattress. It's super cool and comfortable, and there's lots of room for me and Harry. Thank you, Helix.
Get the sleep you deserve with Helix Sleep. Head to helixsleep.com/papameat to start sleeping in your new mattress today. And as a Memorial Day exclusive partner offer, Helix Sleep is offering 27% off the entire site, plus a free bedding bundle with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. Thank you so much to Helix Sleep for sponsoring this video. And hey, get comfy, get some good sleep. But not after you finish it.
I've seen a couple videos of office sirens being like, they have to go talk to HR because they're too sexed up.
Well, yeah. Well, of course. Yeah, they're like, you can't actually show your asshole during meetings. She's like, siren. Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. Watch out, sailors. Like, you work for HP. We make printers. You can't do that. You know, and some see this style as empowering, right? While others feel that it reinforces the sexualization of women in the office setting. For people that have traditional corporate jobs, they are well aware that most of these outfits are not actually something that you can get away with wearing in an office. I mean, obviously, they're being like, you have to be a dunce to think that you could wear the short thing and that their tits are just like popping out and they're like, I hope I can show up to my office job today. And so it's just like, oh, you're going to get fired day one. Congratulations, you got fired. However, one now deleted comment from TikTok details the story of how someone she knows lost out on an amazing job opportunity because of this trend. And this is that deleted comment.
We have a college credit paid 25-hour intern position that goes straight to a 6-figure salary job at graduation.
Where? Where is this and where was I, is what I want to say. My God.
The girl wore an office siren outfit day 2 and was immediately fired for it. And yes, we can fire someone for that. It's the contract she signed when taking the job.
What do you mean? And you are to not wear anything revealing, unless you want to roll the dice. We'll see how I feel on each day. I'd like to think in the contract for the job, he's like, if you're going to have boobage, it needs to be hidden by 2 buttons. And if your ham hocks are going to protrude from your pants, then see me immediately. Sign here.
I bet no boob windows.
If boob window is in the contract, I'm going to be very excited.
It's in the contract she signed when taking the job. Literally lost a guaranteed $200,000.
Imagine losing a $200,000 job just because you had to get all sexed up, dude. You know what? At the same time, I'd say, what were they wearing? What do you think they were wearing that could have been that bad? Do you think that it was way too sexualized, or do you think it was like a little provocative and they were just like, you can't do this? A mini skirt? Shame on you. Get out of here.
I'm imagining she went full on siren.
I mean, I have seen some where you're like, word? You know, like, yeah, that's an outfit? All right, well, damn. But if you got the goods, Nick, are you not supposed to show them?
Not at work, unless your job is sales.
Well, listen, if you're at a convention floor trying to sell some big stuff for a company or whatever, hey, I bet you that contract goes out the window. Jessica, show more of these. We gotta move those printers. And one woman reportedly took her outfit inspiration too literally and ended up wearing a similar fitting outfit at her corporate job. She ended up getting fired and decided to sue her coworker, who believed that that was the person to blame for her firing. Her coworker made a video to voice how stupid of a reaction it was, stating, quote,
Babe, I don't wear those outfits for fun. I literally wear them to get them taken off on camera.
What?
Is this an OnlyFans?
I'm like, what?
She's like, I wouldn't wear that unless I was being recorded. Snap, snap, bitch. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
One of the most viral things to come out of the Gen Z corporate space is the infamous Gen Z boss at a mini video. Last year, an Australian skincare startup company named TBH Skincare posted a video to their Instagram page that instantly became the target of ruthless criticism. In the video, a group of girls are joyously singing in a circle as they hype each other up, and people were quick to lambast them for being too cringy.
Gen Z boss and a mini. Gen Z boss and a mini. Itty bitty titties and a bulb. Itty bitty titties and a bulb.
Yeah, that pisses me off. Listen, I'm all down for girlies being girlies and boys being with the boys, but guess what? What the f is this?
It's just girlfriends having fun at work.
Do your job and go home. Do the in a bar. You know what I mean? Don't do it in an empty conference room, itty bitty titties and whatever. You know what? Men rise up. Why can't I say small fat?
And an attitude.
Small fat and an attitude. Small fat and an attitude. Prolapse and a raise. I don't know what the fuck it is. This video turned out to be an older trend that was super viral at the time, originally posted by Who Gives a Fuck, and it became so popular that even celebrities like the cast of Parks and Rec were joining in.
Pony in a cashmere shirt. Pony in a cashmere shirt.
Because celebrities just can't let it be. They gotta join in. Okay, you guys are not watching the show. Watch us do it now, please. The skincare company didn't expect their video to blow up the way it did, and were even more surprised to see the unnecessary scathing comments, which I'm not gonna lie. Listen, is it cringy? Sure, but come on now. What, people can't just dance in a circle and make some songs? Come on.
This like bred a lot of misogynist people.
Oh, this is the thing that bred a lot of misogyny. This is the one thing that bred a lot of misogyny. Misogyny was like kind of dormant before this, and this is, I do like the comment of this, people say this is what lost Kamala the race. Way to go. Sorry. Republicans are gonna win on this one. They ended up responding to the hate by making another video, and this time replacing the lyrics to the song with mean comments they received.
Gender pay gap, bring it back. Gender pay gap, bring it back. Women should go back to the kitchen. Women should go back to the kitchen.
Which, you go girls. Hey, Gen Z, way to own the workplace. Regardless, their page spiked in followers, and their viral video brought tons of traffic to their skincare website, leading to a noticeable increase in sales. So who won? I think they did.
And they're also in Australia.
And they're Aussies.
They don't care about American politics.
Who gives a They're like, I lost Kamala the race, dude. I'm worried about dingoes eating babies and kangaroos standing outside my back door. Have you seen that shit? Someone like looking out, he's like, what's out there? It's like a giant buff kangaroo.
And they choke dogs.
Yeah, and he's like, give me back my dog. And he knackers him in the face. You got knackered. Peace off. I have to bleep that, but over time, as the newer generations entered the working world, they found themselves dissatisfied with the state of workplace culture. While it's become common for people to go above and beyond to help their company succeed despite a lack of proper financial incentive, Gen Z began to push back, including introducing the phrase quiet quitting. Long are gone are the days of the 2-week notice. Now we quiet quit. This is the 6-month notice, ladies and gentlemen, the quiet quit. While quiet quitting has been around as a concept for quite a while, the popularity in the movement recently has been attributed to the Gen Z use of it for viral. Basically, trying to get them clicks, dude. You gotta get them clicks. If you don't have the clicks, are you even living? I don't think so. The point of quiet quitting is to stop doing things that don't match up with your actual job description, and essentially, it means no longer putting in more effort than you have to, which in my opinion, yes. Especially if you're working for like a giant conglomerate or something. I don't have to do other for you, dude.
Walmart?
Like Walmart, yeah. Walmart? You wouldn't go above and beyond for Sam Walton and his family? It is common for employees to take on bonus tasks that extend past what they were hired to do without any hint of additional financial support. You know what I mean? You're working maybe longer hours, you're taking in other people's job descriptions and stuff like that. It normally just trickles in, but I will say, I think half the time it's for like shift leads who are like, hey, we're behind on this, do you mind helping? I wouldn't say it's just Sam Walton being like, no, now do this. Maybe it is sometimes, I don't know.
This is what I say when the shift lead asks for help. I say, not my job.
Quiet quitting. That's what I do. I do that now. Hey, actually, man, I kind of hurt my back. Do you think you could help me? Not really in my pay grade. Quiet quitting, more appropriately referred to as acting your wage. Acting your age is funny. Is a means to stop higher ups from taking advantage of workers. Some describe it as merely setting firm boundaries to avoid having work encroach on their work-life balance, which I think is fair. I do think some people, they toe that line a little too much. You just gotta be like, no. I worked for, remember when Sprint was a phone company? I did some work for them one time. Those my email you at like 2 in the morning. Wake up.
Can you come in?
You know, or just being like, you gotta make this edit. I'm like, oh, like, what? Right now? Yeah, get 30 minutes! No! That kind of brutal. But this means avoiding non-mandatory meetings, showing up early, or staying in late. As this began to catch on, surveys began to show that around 64% of employees considered themselves quiet quitters. This was especially prevalent during the COVID work from home era, where it was harder to monitor people on their job. First off, if you were working your ass off during the COVID era for like a big company, what the f are you doing? That was the first time to just get paid and relax.
If you had an essential job, you couldn't.
It's true. I want to thank all the Door Dashers. Remember when they did that? We want to thank the heroes that fed us during the pandemic. Did you see each post like that? Yeah, there was a post being like, I just want to take time to thank the heroes that fed us during the pandemic. They're talking about like Uber Eats and DoorDash delivery drivers. I'm like, well, goddamn, I mixed up 4 of my orders, so I'm not thanking them too much.
Not all heroes wear capes.
It's true. Some people have taken the idea of quiet quitting and applied it to areas outside of their job. For example, someone posted TikToks discussing how they've been quietly quitting friendships and people by no longer initiating conversations. Autism. And according to marriage therapists, quiet quitting is also incredibly prevalent in marriages as well.
Oh, I know this one.
You're like, I know this is all too well. In the case of interpersonal relationships, many believe that this is a cop-out for having a direct conversation about problems that you're having, which obviously it is. Nobody wants to have the awkward conversation. I don't want to be your friend anymore, dude. You suck. Or I suck, but I think you suck. You know what I mean? Actually, you're the problem, but you're just like, actually, you're the problem. It's just people being like, I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it today. Even though like 7 months ago, you could have just been like, I don't want to do this anymore. And now it could have been totally resolved by now. Not only does the younger generation want to fight back against being undervalued in the workplace, but they also want to address the prevalence of worker burnout. One of the ways people want to approach this is by acquiring what's referred to as lazy girl jobs. Lazy girl jobs is another concept within the anti-work movement that emerged from the idea that people should find work that is financially safe while also reducing the stress that comes with high-intensity jobs. That doesn't feel very Gen Z and woke. Essentially, it aims to go against corporate hustle culture because life should be about more than just your career. And in a video she coins this term and refers to occupations like account managers, marketing associates, and receptionists. Jobs that can be remote, financially safe, easy, and flexible. Lazy girl jobs.
This is where you can get in the jacuzzi.
You're a lazy girl job. Get in that pool. Hop in that pool, girl. The video sparked the trend of acquiring and showing off your lazy girl job, and critics of the movement believe that lazy girl jobs are going to stop workers from developing useful skills to take them farther in their careers, and it's also resulted in companies looking at their workplace and removing jobs that resemble lazy girl jobs. So because of this, they're just like, get that out of here. And I will say there is some truth to being like, you should try to find a career where you're like, I actually want to develop a skill or use this. Like, I might have to have a job, but it's going to be beneficial towards something later on. But just like potato couch surfing these work things because it's easier, I think it's like I feel like you're gonna have a rough golden years.
Because if you get fired, that's
well,
it.
you're fucked.
And you don't have another skill.
I think you really have no way to also like grow. Like you're always just kind of stuck in this weird nebulous place of like floating around looking for stuff, which also too could be a result of people just being like the job market sucks or it's hard finding stuff or it's so competitive to find jobs. I don't know. Hop in that pool, girl. While some people online try their hardest to find an easy, laid-back job, others flock to TikTok to share how much they love the corporate grind. Let's talk about TikTok's corporate girlies. Some people use corporate girly hashtag on TikTok to post content that glamorizes the busy 9-to-5 structure. Unlike with a lazy girl job, these people work beyond their expectations and love coming into offices. And creeps. It freaked me out. Anybody who's like a bootlicker at their job, weird, I don't know. Even if you work at like a place like Nike or something where you're like, I really love it. Ah, dude. Happy to be here. Also, it feels forced. I don't know.
They're going to go up the corporate ladder.
Those are the people that are going to be the bosses in the future that you hate. But also, do you think it's better to go into your job being like, I don't think you have to be miserable, but just like, is it weird to just like glamorize this thing? Like, I love this. That has to be a healthier mindset, right? Even if people are like, I hate my job. If you're actually content with it, is that a problem?
I think like being pleasant around people.
Well, you know what it reads like? It reads like you're in a cult where people are like, you don't even realize you're brainwashed. I think that's why. You know what I mean? Like a person's just like, and I can't wait to stay out later just to help out the team. People are like, you go home. What? I'm glad you're happy, but I feel bad for you at the same time. I don't know, it's weird. These videos consist of work routine videos and office motivation with enough hashtag girlboss energy to make people think that they're going to work is the coolest thing in the world. I'm going to work. It's like going to Coachella. It's essentially career porn. Some people get a lot of motivation from these videos, while others are disgusted by the career chipper attitude. Really think it just all depends on where you're at in your life. Could be some person who's just like, yeah, I am going to get up and I am going to try. And there's other people who are like, I'm dead inside. Either or.
It's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum, like autism. Many people online think that the phrases like corporate girly or lazy girl jobs are cringe and make women look like children, which I agree with both those. It's just like, I don't know, it's weird. Lazy girl jobs is a pretty funny derogatory thing though. Oh, you're a hostess, so you got a lazy girl job? It's like, I feel like hostess could bust their ass. No?
Yeah.
There's probably some crazy receptionist jobs. I don't know, it's just kind of funny. But also corporate girly, I will say, I'd be like, off. I'm a corporate girly. I'd be like, cool, get a new hobby. Collect stamps. That's what I'd say. Do something cool. I don't know. Anything else. And on the polar opposite side of the internet, a woman named Brelly Acero went viral for posting a TikTok where she cried over stress of having her first 9-to-5 job, which is just really funny.
I'm so upset. Oh my god. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just like the 9-to-5 schedule in general is crazy.
And also, I think way more common than people think. I've met so many people who are like, I can't take it. Just off of some, like, they work at CC's Pizza or something. It's crazy. In her video, she rants about how it's impossible to have any sort of real life outside of work because of her long commute to and from work, which, dude, it's a funny video. At the same time, the essence and the soul of it, I feel you. I feel it in my bones. Granted, wouldn't post it because also you have to realize that every other human being is doing it as well. So it feels a bit where it's just like, pick yourself up a bit and reevaluate, you know, it'll be all right. And for most people, this is beyond normal, which led to tons of support being thrown away from those that are sick of their jobs, sucking away all their energy and ruining chances of a social life. And this sparked a heated online debate about Gen Z is just lazy, or if perhaps they raise a good point about the absurdity that is the modern work culture, which I think could be both. I think everybody's a little lazy, and I think that work can suck. Also, I'm a fence rider, and I have no opinions. I'm really trying to cover all my bases here, all right? With everything costing more, there is a reliance on dual income households, and with worker burnout being more and more common, people felt that this woman was onto something. The post had moved on to Twitter, where a hyper-conservative audience began lambasting all of Gen Z as unfit for the modern working world, claiming that they're too weak and sensitive to handle it, aka the man who has sunglasses in his profile picture, and he's either taking a selfie in his truck or there's an American flag behind him, and then that's the whole, like, you got soft hands kind of thing. Soon after, Brill reported that she had eventually lost her job for reasons unrelated to her viral video, and however, her TikTok has nearly 700,000 followers at 22 years old, and she's likely more than fine because follower counts equate to money.
I need to do that. Be in my car and start crying. Work is too hard.
I mean, it's kind of funny. It's just kind of funny just to be like, yeah, it sucks. I mean, like, what I don't know what else I'm supposed to tell you, you know?
Quit. Get a different job.
Yeah, I think it's just more like, I think the job sucks. One, because it's something new, but you know, with time, change is fine. Like you'll kind of adapt to it. But also too, the job could just also not be a fit, and it sucks to go look again, but it might just be better to go and look for a new gig, you know? For those that chose to stick to their grueling jobs, people have concocted more unique ways to slack off in the office. So let's talk about Fauxductivity, aka pretending to work. Most people have experienced pretending to look productive in front of your boss. Fauxductivity, also referred to as task masking, can include typing loudly and aggressively on your keyboard, walking quickly around the office to appear busy, and switching browser tabs rapidly as if you're deeply researching something. Instead of just sitting down and doing what you're supposed to for the day, we're just gonna procrastinate and just pretend that we're doing it. To be fair, I think there's some jobs where it's like, I can get this done in 30 minutes. So I get that. And that, to me, those are the jobs where I'd be like, I need to look for something new. That's a prison sentence. It really is. You're just like, I'm supposed to do this, and I'm like, okay. Because those are also jobs where you're catered to do more than what you're actually hired to do. Those are those kind of jobs, I think.
When I had worked in a law firm as a receptionist, I'd get bored and I would just draw. This sounds weird, but I would just write help over or no. Anyways, I left that.
There was something so cathartic and good feeling I had when I wrote it. It's almost as if my mind was trying to say something.
I left it in the printer room, and I guess my boss found it and then showed my mom, and then my mom's like, this comes off like psychotic.
Yeah, it does. Well, you probably look like the Zodiac killer. Also, you're like leaving it out so someone's gonna find it. Like, drop it.
Why does it say no and help? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Mr. Giggles is talking to me again. And this has become a trend online as well, with people posting videos instructing others on how to do it effectively. You gotta show people how it's done. And Fauxductivity is much more common than you'd think. A 2024 Work Human study reveals that 32% of workers admit to be pretending to do their job, which is also gotta be so much lower than what is actually out there. Also, who's gonna be like, I totally just pretend to work. I think other people would be like, this is a test. I'm going to get in trouble for who's watching me.
Yeah, they're handing them out at work.
Yeah, exactly. Here, take one of these and fill it out. You're like,
Be honest, they're anonymous.
we don't even know who's doing it. He like puts up a GoPro like right on your cubicle, or right on your cubicle desk. You're just like. On the other hand, 37% of managers do so as well, which I love that too. I got promoted. I feel like they're like, I got out of the trenches and now I'm not going back, dude. It is living la vida loca now. The most common reason for this can include poor work-life balance and the feelings of burnout, like every other fucking thing. But what happens when you just can't take your job anymore? While some people just want to clean out their desk and storm out ASAP, some Gen Z workers have decided to take a different approach. Let's talk about revenge quitting. Revenge quitting is when you leave your job, but purposely do it in an inconvenient way that causes chaos for the employer. Many are doing this as a way to stick it to the companies with toxic work environments. I've had so many people do that. I had this job where a guy was like, I'm gonna quit, and he hated his job, and he picked up like 7 shifts. He told people, I'll take your shit, I'll take extra hours, and they just didn't show up for it. And like there was like a full week where people were like, I made plans, I can't come in, and it f***ed over the whole thing.
Damn.
Yeah. To be fair, that's kind of fucked up, because if you do something like that, then you're f***ing up other people too.
Yeah, you're not fucking up the work. You're fucking up your
Yeah, which
coworkers.
in his mind, he's like, chaos. The managers. But then it's like, well, you're gonna have to stay later. You know, I don't know. Older generations view this as a childish and unprofessional, while Gen Z seems to believe it's justified as a form of protest against unfair treatment. And a simple example could include quitting your job when the team is understaffed, and other people, however, have escalated that approach, right? So kind of what I said. And in Texas, a man named Davis Liu worked as a software developer working at a company called Eaton Corp. And after 11 years working with the company, his job was moved around to the point where his job responsibilities began to decrease. Suspecting that he was on his way to being let go, he set out to create a complex and malicious code to infuriate the company. Part of this code acted as a kill switch in the case he was fired. He had created a code he called Hakai, which is Japanese for destruction. The code prevented coworkers from logging into their company server because their company profiles were being deleted on an infinite loop. That's kind of up. Eventually, he was fired. This is when the kill switch went into effect, resulting in their entire system to be inoperable for a long time. And in the process, the company lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was discovered that Lou's PC was the one executing the malicious code. They discovered that not only was he trying to erase complete project files, but he's also trying to delete encrypted files as well as Linux directories, which is pretty much just he's trying to destroy the entire company to where no one can use anything. Lou was taken to court where he faces 10 years in prison for purposely sabotaging the company. The court date is still pending. My boy's serving some time. They're gonna call him the Lou decade because that's what's getting ready to face him. But what about when you've lost your job and it's time to find another? Well, Gen Z has tactics to anger their employees before they've even stepped foot in the office. It's referred to as career catfishing. In short, career catfishing is an act of defiance from Gen Z workers where they acquire a new job but don't ever show up. Why they do this, I don't really know. They do this without ever communicating to the employer why they ghosted them. They just kind of don't show up and that's it. And the people are like, okay. This is a form of protest against poor working conditions, unprofessional hiring practices, and insulting salary offers, continuing the trend of Gen Z workers prioritizing their personal needs more than accepting the modern corporate culture, which good, I think. But I think it's kind of fucked up. If you don't like the salary, just don't do it. There's like also, I think that so many people think that like the people that are hiring them are the evil people. It's like, it's just an employee, whatever. You're fucking over all the other people who are in your position. It's like, well, fucking, they should leave too. Like, it's not that easy. Another reason someone may engage in career catfishing is if the job listing description ends up being misleading, or if there are large delays in responses when discussing the potential hire. God, you took too long. After leaving their time wasted, they move on to a different job while pretending that they're still interested in the original, attempting to waste their time in return. And a survey from CV Genius suggests that 34% of Gen Z workers have participated in career catfishing. There's certainly a big difference with how Gen Z handles the working world. To some, it may just seem obnoxious, like the younger people are just not cut out for the normal job nowadays, right? Like the old, they just need to suck it up. Or perhaps we're all just so used to the grueling hours and the reliance of side hustling that we think that this is the way that it should be. That it's just that there's no changing it. This is what it is. But regardless, it's interesting to see how the older generations are reacting to this newfound priority of workplace balance and such with Gen Z. Old generations clashing with, you know, young generations. It's a tale as old as time. But I'm always curious as the generations go on, what becomes normalized with Gen Z to where then the other generation starts fucking with it too. You know? And two, I'll tell you this, the older you get, the more grumpier and crustacean you become. So this whole thing is cute now, but there's gonna be one day when those motherfuckers like, yeah, I ghosted them. They're gonna be sitting at a desk being like, the sucker didn't message me back. Or you just ghosted us. What the It's gonna be the same guy. It's a tale as old as time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching today, and hopefully your workday is going good as well. Wanted to make this too because I feel like so many people are like, hey, I'm working, I'm gonna watch your video then. So if you're at your job right now, cheers to you, buddy. We appreciate you. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I don't want to go to work.
Misery Monday. I am a child. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to work.